What is up, and welcome into the Easy Smoke and the GM podcast. I'm your host, Ezra McCann, and I'm joined, as always, by my outstanding co-hosts. He's a Chicago Public League legend. He's a Simeon legend. He's a Grambling State legend. He played second base for the Tigers back in the day. He was all SWAC. It's Brandon Williams, a.k.a. Coach Smoke. And we've got our NFL draft enthusiast, analyst for NBC Sports Chicago. He can catch all his work at NBCSportsChicago.com and the My Teams app. He's Glenn Morgan. He's our GM. Gentlemen, it's officially football season.
Yes,
It's officially football season. It was good to have all the college games on this past weekend.
Yes, sir.
And we'll talk about one in particular a little later. But we're in the opening week here of the NFL season. We're actually, as we record, we are one night away from the Thursday night opener, which will be the Super Bowl champs, the Los Angeles Rams, taking on the Buffalo Bills. So that's a good Thursday night opener.
Yeah. I need a little more enthusiasm for you for the NFL week. Come on now. I mean, seriously.
What else you want me to do, man?
More enthusiasm. Dude, we had a great week of college football. We had the 0 week, which was actually pretty good. And we had the real week, which was even more phenomenal. And now you got the NFL week beginning in the middle of the week, which is great because it gets us through the middle of the week to the weekend. And you got the Super Bowl champs and the former Super Bowl champ going against his last team, Von Miller, to where you hear Aaron Donald say, yeah, Von, I appreciate him, but he's the enemy now. I mean, you got to build this up, man. We got football coming up.
My voice doesn't get
seasons ever.
My voice doesn't get much more enthusiastic than this. So I don't know what you want from me, man. There's only so much I can give. I apologize. I'm sorry if I'm not as pumped up about this as I should be. Maybe I don't know. But no, I am. Man, this is my favorite time of the year. Gotta love football season, and this opening game should be a good one, no doubt about it. I heard Jalen Ramsey was talking today. They asked him about matchups he's gonna have against the Buffalo Bills, and he came out and said, I'm not gonna hype them up. I respect them. They're okay. They're cool.
Oh, okay. Really?
But we got some good players too.
That's true.
So
That's true.
I respected. I respected that. But yeah, this should be a good week of football.
B, you pumped? You two cats are some laid back, cool ass motherfuckers. I get that. I mean, y'all not just a little bit geeked, just a little bit, just a smidge.
I mean,
I think that doesn't know.
I mean, I'm geeked. I'm geeked. I'm pumped. But I mean, believe it or not, as crazy as this might sound, I'm more pumped about Sunday than I am Thursday to see the Bears.
That don't sound crazy.
Okay.
That don't sound crazy.
I probably I'm likely going to miss the game tomorrow.
Okay.
Probably a catch to the end because I had baseball practice, which same thing happened last year with the Buccaneers, Cowboys.
Gotcha.
Caught the end, which was an exciting game, but caught the end. So I'm not as enthused, but I make arrangements to make sure I'm sitting down at home on Sunday.
Okay.
At noon.
I will say that I've never been a fan of the Thursday night opener.
Wow.
I've never been a fan of it because it doesn't feel.
I like the Sunday night opener. I mean, even though it's the last game before Monday night football, but I feel like that one is more
the Sunday night national game is what you're saying.
It's like it seems more magical, I would say, than the Thursday night game. Wow. To me, it does.
I like for opening day to start at noon. Everybody kicking off at the same time. Then you get your afternoon games, and then your Sunday night game, and then you get a good Monday night. I don't know. Not even. I mean, we're coming up on what? It's almost been 20 years now of the Thursday night game, but I'm still not as
It's
into it as
weird.
Yeah,
really weird that the young guys are the curmudgeons and the old guy is the one that's pumped for the Thursday night. It's kind of weird. Get off your lawn. I get it. Just give you your noon game and my 3:00 West Coast game with a hearty Monday Night Football.
I mean, the only time. Wait. I think the Bears only did it one time. That the Packer game a couple of years ago.
Right, 100th anniversary.
Yeah,
of the NFL.
Yeah. And that was a lackluster game.
It was because the quarterback was.
It was on both sides though. Green Bay only scored 10 points.
Yeah, because the defense was still good, and Aaron Rodgers didn't care about the Bears, and he didn't care about playing football because he was like, "Ho hum, it's the Bears."
So that tells you why I'm not as maybe my voice isn't as pumped as it should be.
No, I'm just a football nerd. I get it, and I'm geeking out a little bit. Got a Madden league starting, synchronizing with the NFL. I've had my college football. It's giving me like that early surge of football. So I'm just brimming with the potential of what I see the NFL being, the season as being one of the, maybe arguably in my mind's eye, going to be one of the greatest seasons we've seen in maybe 20 plus years. I think we're going to see that much talent. I was just thinking about it today, how much top tier talent left the NFC and went over to the AFC as free agents, even a couple of trades. But the talent in the AFC, although some of those players move, they still stay within the AFC. And when you look at the AFC, it's just so, every team is just, even the teams like the Jets that in the Jaguars that probably won't make the playoffs, you just look at their roster, you're like, man, these guys are a lot of good young talent. But guys like Khalil Mack leaves, goes back to the AFC. You see a guy like Stephon Gilmore, who came over from the AFC last year from the Patriots over to the Panthers. He's back in the AFC with the Colts. You see the safety from Tampa Bay, Whitehead, leaves, and these guys get big contracts. He leaves, and now he's with the Jets. You see quarterbacks leave, and Russell left, and Matt Ryan leaves, and those guys are in the AFC. And a quarterback like Deshaun Watson leaves one division, but stays in the same conference and goes to a different division. And what happens when the AFC guys come up? We get Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz goes from the AFC to the NFC. Oh, thanks, gee. And Baker Mayfield, like guys that nobody wants, they're discarded over here to the NFC. So you see that talent drain. It's like, even like Chandler, it's not just the offensive players. Chandler Jones leaves, Arizona and goes to the Raiders. I mean, it's crazy. Devontae Adams, right? Yeah, right. Devontae Adams leaves. And
Tyreek goes from the Chiefs to the Dolphins, stays
right.
in the AFC.
Stays in the AFC. The cornerback from the Patriots leaves and goes to the Chargers, to be the superstar over there. So it's just, it is phenomenal how much talent is there. So I think the AFC every single week, there are going to be several games every single week that are like must-see TV. So I think that's just fantastic.
So you're saying you're going to bet on the AFC in the Pro Bowl?
I'm going to bet on the AFC in the Super Bowl, the Pro Bowl, the toilet bowl, whatever other bowl you want to come up with. Because and there's some decent, good NFC teams, but I just don't see one of those teams that really makes me think that there isn't an AFC team that can handle them. Even the Buccaneers, I think they can be handled this year. Even the Rams, I think, because coming off of the Super Bowl, having that, some of those nuances that happen, those negative nuances that happen to Super Bowl winners, I think they, can be handled. I just don't see an NFC team just going over, just smashing the AFC team. I just don't see it.
Well, let's go ahead. Let's go through all the divisions here and just give some brief thoughts on the teams out there.
Sure.
We'll start in the AFC East. Last year's champion, the Buffalo Bills, look like they're strong. Vegas loves them. I think Vegas has them as the favorite. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
right.
Won the division at 11-6. Lost in the divisional playoff to Kansas City.
Rule change because of that.
Rule change, yeah.
Say.
Rule change because of that game. When it comes to overtime rules. So yeah. I don't think anyone is really going to test Buffalo in this division here. I think New England is a little shaky. They're
going to take a step
do they even have an offensive staff?
No.
Yes. I
mean,
made up of former defensive players,
right?
Maybe up of former defensive coaches who sucked as head coaches when they had their teams, and the Lions and the Giants. That considerably made those teams worse when they got there. Yes, those would be the offensive geniuses now running the show in New England.
Look at Miami. Miami, I think they may have got better, but they're a team that I could see making the playoffs, and I can see them winning 8 games. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
New head coach, new coaching staff.
Right.
So transition there.
They got the brother coach.
Multinational.
Multi-dimensional.
Oh man, Mike McDaniel. That's his name.
Yeah. Yes, McDaniel. Yes.
He's a brother.
From another. Never mind.
No doubt.
The
Jets wound out that division, and I think they got better. They, like you said earlier, they got some talent, some young talent in that team, but I don't think they're going to be able to compete. Not just yet. Anyway,
have to learn how to win first.
Yeah.
Yep, that is a thing.
But Buffalo, just stay healthy, and they should ride through there.
They run away.
What do you think about Josh Allen here coming up in this will be his 4th season now?
Yes, because he's the same year as Lamar.
Yeah.
Okay. And Baker and those other guys. 4th year. I think Josh Allen, he's primed to have a Pro Bowl. I mean, not Pro Bowl, but a MVP type kind of season. I think he arguably right now is physically maybe the most all-around gifted quarterback right now in terms of arm strength, athleticism, strength, confidence. That's not to say others aren't talented. I mean, Mahomes has a big arm as well. I just don't. He's not as physical as Josh. I don't think he's as fast as Josh. It's just, and I mean, I'm parsing, little granulars of saying the difference between these players. But you look at Josh Allen right now, and I've always said you can come out of Wyoming. He reminds me of a poor man's John Elway, and I stick to that right now, in terms of just pure, physical gifts, But I think he's a little bit further. I mean, he's a beast, man. He's a beast. He's a load, and he's playing with confidence. And Stephon Diggs helped his game come up another level. I think Gabriel Davis stepping up his game last year in the playoffs against the Chiefs have given them a more confident second option. And they just re-signed Dawson Knox. They extended his contract. So you're seeing the weapons. And you're seeing and getting James Cook, the rookie running back from Georgia, who's a deadly pass catcher out the backfield, pretty good route runner as a running back. They're just so talented, and that defense being a top, those held number 1 defense last year. So yeah, everything says if the health holds, that the team should be good. And getting Jamison Crowder is a great 3rd down guy, to replace Cole Beasley who they lost. So yeah, I think Josh Allen is primed for MVP season.
Yeah, Cook. That's
Dallas little brother
married into the family, like for real. That's
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Met his mom at our family reunion.
Okay.
This past in July. Yep.
What about them tickets, bro? I
didn't really bother nothing like that, but yeah, she married one of older cousins down from Miami. So
okay.
Yep. But yeah, GM hit it all on the head when it comes to Josh Allen and the Bills. I mean, they're primed for destiny with that division. and their improvement year by year. Now, what happens with the loss of Dayball? I don't think it's a major loss. It may be the difference in them winning a Super Bowl or not, but they definitely dominate the division without him, in my opinion. So no breaking news here when it comes to that division. I expect them to run away with it, like with ease.
Yeah, I think the Bills realize, or they tell themselves, we need to have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. So I see them on a mission to win every single game, so they don't lose a game, so they don't lose that leverage of having home field throughout the playoffs. And I think it starts tomorrow, Thursday game against the Rams. Yep. And that's a prove it game. That's a we should have played you game.
That's going to be an interesting thing with them, though, because they've been known over the past few years to have clunkers, some very bad losses where you like, how did that happen? Mm-hmm. Like, didn't they lose to the Jets last year?
Not certain, but it's a divisional game, so I'll give it.
They lost to somebody where they were like a double-digit favorite,
right?
And like, how did that happen?
Vegas paid them all.
But they managed to not do like what the Patriots did with Tom Brady, assure that they're going to get pretty much home field advantage. For some reason, over the past couple of years, they've been messing that part of the task up.
Right.
And so I think, yes, I think they would be on a mission this year to do exactly that. And then I think the overtime rules is what's going to kill them. They're going to fall victim to the change.
You think it's going to happen again?
I think they're going to fall victim to the change. I think the change is going to hurt them.
Irony of ironies.
Yep. And I hope it does. They shouldn't have changed it.
I agree. They should have left it alone. Because apparently the Bengals didn't need it on the road against the Chiefs.
No, the very next week. You're right. You're exactly right.
So we all agreed Buffalo wins that division?
Yeah.
I think so. But let me ask you this. Of the, we talked about Josh Allen. Of the remaining three quarterbacks, young quarterbacks, Mac Jones, Tua, Glenn, give me your last name.
No, Wilson?
Tua.
No. Tua's last name.
Tagovailoa.
I cannot say that to save my life. just Tua. And Zach Wilson. Who's got the most to prove here?
Tua.
This season.
Look, we said it together.
Yeah.
Tua.
Without a doubt.
We said that together in unison. It's Tua easily.
Easily Tua. He's going to be dogged by Justin Herbert his rest of his playing days, because that was the guy that Miami should have taken and could have taken, but did not take. He only went on to be the offensive rookie of the year. And granted, they didn't make the playoffs last year, but we know it wasn't Justin's fault. Bad coaching decisions had a lot to do with that. And Justin just looks like he's going to keep getting better. I mean, he threw for over 4,000 yards last year. He's probably going to come close to throwing for 5,000 this year. That team seems loaded. And Tua has all the weapons now. He even has arguably some more explosive weapons than Herbert does. So you can't say he doesn't have the weapons. The offensive line has gotten better. The running backs have gotten explosive. The defense is probably a top 10 defense easily. And you're playing in one of the weaker divisions in all of the NFL. So if he cannot go 11-6 this season, 10-7 is not good enough, because that's not going to get you in the playoffs in the AFC. If he can't go 11-6, then he's going to feel that pressure. And then, Miami's going to be looking for a quarterback next year.
All right. So I guess we got everybody says Buffalo?
Yeah.
Buffalo coming out of the East for everybody. All right. Let's move on to the AFC North. The defending champions are the team that represented the AFC in the Super Bowl, the Cincinnati Bengals. They went 10-7. They only have that Super Bowl loss curse behind them or in front of them coming up here. That's all I would worry about, because Super Bowl losers don't typically have good seasons.
Back-to-back seasons.
Back-to-back, right. Pittsburgh finished second last season, made the playoffs 9-7. Of course, they have the
9-7-1.
9-7-1. That's right. They have the streak of no losing seasons from Mike Tomlin.
Right.
Mitch gonna kill that.
to defend. Mitch Mitch has been named the starting quarterback, by the way, for the Steelers. Cleveland went 8-9 last year, and I think they underachieved. I would think
They did.
Last season. They've got a new quarterback.
Injuries.
They got a lot of new quarterbacks. Injuries derailed them. Definitely had something to factor into last year. I would agree. Quarterback quandary, which is more of a muddy quandary, now. So it's like they fixed it but made it worse. In a sense, but yet to be seen. But right now, I mean, we don't know who the Cleveland Browns are going to be offensively. They're a bit of an enigma. Yeah, mystery enigma wrapped inside a riddle, like a JFK movie. But yeah, man, I don't know. So who do you think?
Wait, he didn't land the last.
I didn't let the Baltimore Ravens finished tied with Cleveland last year at 8-9. Lamar Jackson's looking for that contract extension, still hasn't got it. So he's got something to play for here. Certainly coming up this season. That's a tough division.
A lot of injuries for Baltimore last year, too.
Yeah. He was one of them, even though they were able to get the W against the Bears somehow.
They had a lot of close wins last year.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. To your point, we're talking about quarterbacks and the significance of them. If Burrow goes down, I don't think we're confident that his backup is going to win a lot of games. You just got to make sure he doesn't lose them. The Browns quarterback quandary, but when Watson comes back, they're better and deeper at quarterback with him and Brissett.
Can Brissett keep them afloat?
I think he can keep them. I think he can keep them 5-7, and that's within striking distance. They just can't afford to lose another game. 10-7 still may not be good enough. You look at Pittsburgh and Trubisky. I think his confidence is better. I think the bad stuff he had in from Chicago has kind of been flushed out enough. And Pittsburgh is good enough, well-coached team and good enough of a roster that the defense can get you better opportunities if when Trubisky messes up.
To be a typical Trubisky type team.
If it
right. If and when. Well, yeah. Win. More win than if.
When Trubisky messes up.
And you're looking at some quality wide receivers, a little young, but some quality wide receivers, quality tight end, quality running back, and the offensive line has gotten better. But there's depth at quarterback. I think we've seen the fact that Pickett and Trubisky went down to the wire to see who would be the starting quarterback, let you know those guys there's some depth there at quarterback, and they can let Mason Rudolph go, who's not great, but has been in that system for a while. But more importantly, what I was going to say is you look at Baltimore. Of all those teams, Baltimore is probably the deepest at quarterback because Huntley, I tell you, man, when that brother plays,
he came in.
He didn't look too far off from Lamar.
Yeah,
the system fits the quarterback behind the quarterback.
Right, and he got better the more he was playing. You could see him getting better. So I see Baltimore as being a team because football, I've said this since I was a kid, and I'll still continue to say it. Football is a game of attrition. And those teams, a lot of times I base on who I pick on who can survive attrition at the most important positions or important players for that particular team. And some teams, the running back's more important, like Tennessee Titans. Do they have a backup for Henry? Some teams, the quarterback, most teams, the quarterback's the most important player. Sometimes it might be the edge rusher. Whatever the case might be, whoever your most important skill players are, can you survive loss? And I look at the Baltimore Ravens, who went through loss last year, which gave guys more of an opportunity to play. So now they've got better fortified with their, the guys who were the backups, and the guys coming back who not only have something to prove, but are probably playing for another contract. And the NFL is a cutthroat league where they let you go. Even if you do have like a 4-year contract, they let you go after year 2. So, and Lamar, like you said earlier, has a lot to prove. So I think Baltimore is probably best situated to win that division. That being said, anybody can win that division.
Absolutely, yeah. It wouldn't shock me if Pittsburgh.
It wouldn't. It really would.
Division, honestly. But I think if Joe Burrow remains healthy, it's Cincinnati's to lose.
Because okay, well, why do you think it's Cincinnati should lose? And then B, why do you disagree?
Oh, I think because Joe Burrow's a hell of a quarterback. He's got the weapons with Chase, with Joe Mixon in the backfield there. Like I said, I know that he's got that appendix thing, so hopefully he's okay from that. That's something to look for. Like I said, if he's healthy, they win the division.
Well, you know he got sacked a lot last year. You remember that, right?
I do. No, I know that. Yeah.
And they won a lot of close games that it'd be hard to win like that again. It's kind of like when what's my guy Hannibal when he went to Rome with the elephants. The first time he crossed the Alps, he was a sled as he went across. He had to go back home after he got to the gates of Rome. He had to go back home to help out Carthage, and we tried to come back. He couldn't recreate what he did. I don't know
if this has gone way over my head. I don't know what he's talking about.
Mine too. See my eyes getting bigger.
Point being, Hannibal went to Rome, got to the gates, had to go back. That path he took, he couldn't recreate ever again. And I don't know if the Bengals, with all those close wins that they had, especially in the playoffs, if they're primed to win a lot of the close games that they won last year. Usually teams don't do that the following year.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I'm a huge fan of Joe Burrow. I'm a huge fan.
Mm-hmm.
But I strongly believe their success last year was predicated off the injuries to the Browns and the Ravens. I think if those two teams are healthy, the Bengals aren't even close to winning that division. With the Brown situation at quarterback, that gives the Bengals a little bit of hope.
Mm-hmm.
But if Lamar Jackson stays healthy, they are not losing that division. Simple.
Smoke's got Baltimore.
yeah, that's what I kind of read too.
Glenn, who you got?
I'm with Smoke on that one. I think the Ravens. I think they're the tallest short person in that division.
All right, and I'm sticking with Cincinnati.
Okay.
All right, on to the AFC South. Last year's division winner. They ran away with the Tennessee Titans at 12-5.
I guess this division is a little more interesting now.
Is it?
I don't know if it's more interesting, but
I said a little more. I still think the Titans win it.
And Indianapolis they're gonna be better. I mean, they've got a better quarterback, we think, in Matt Ryan.
Better decision maker.
I know they lost their defensive coordinator to the Bears, but what's Darius Leonard's name now? Shaq Leonard.
Shaq Leonard.
Shaq Leonard is back.
Their linebackers are really good.
Yeah. So defense should be solid, no matter who's calling it.
Stephon Gilmore is there now.
Right. That said, I don't even have to talk about the Texans or the Jags at this point. I think Tennessee is going to win this division.
Who's he throwing to? Because you're talking about a guy that threw 14 interceptions, and they threw the least amount of passes out of anybody.
They're going to run the football like they normally
Tannehill.
Talking about Tannehill.
Tannehill, 21 touchdowns and like 14 interceptions, and they threw the least passes in the NFL last year. His efficiency was garbage.
And still ran away with the division.
Yeah, it was a garbage division.
And it still is.
Well, yeah, it probably is arguably the worst division in football.
Yeah. So they're gonna be running behind Mr. Henry there, King Henry, and they run away with that division again.
Yeah, I agree. I believe the media is trying to hope and pray that Trevor Lawrence doesn't have another off year.
He'll be better.
I think he will too.
He was a rookie.
I think he will too, but I think they are praying that he have a massive turnaround.
Yeah, he won't be Joe Burrow.
I don't see that either. Yeah.
Even though he's arguably has significant talent boost with ATN coming back at running back, and Christian Kirk being signed. You got Marvin Jones, and they've also brought in Zay Jones. So It looks like, and Evan Ingram is a tight end. It looks like they've got, but again, you got to learn how to win. And it's I know Peterson, who's the new head coach, has been a coach before and he won the Super Bowl with the Eagles, but you got to learn your people. Your people got to learn you. It's going to take some time to adjust, especially in a tough conference like the AFC. However, although both you guys, are you both Tennessee? Is that what I'm feeling here?
I have Tennessee.
I got Tennessee.
Okay. I'm going to go Colts with this one. I think having a potential a potential Hall of Fame quarterback, a former MVP who's a better decision maker with one of the better lines in football and the best running back, at least statistically last year with the young Taylor, Jonathan Taylor, with a defense that's solid, doesn't make mistakes. Although they may be boring, their uniforms playing, they are effective. And I think they win that division at 11-6.
Those the all blues aren't bad though.
Yeah, no, not bad.
They should wear those more often.
They should, but they won't.
So Glenn with Indianapolis, Smoke and I have Tennessee. Let's move on to
the wildest division of football.
Yeah, the most intriguing division there is
West.
There was a guy on this podcast that told me earlier this year that all 4 teams in this division are elite teams. Did you say that? Person I'm talking about?
Sure. I think they are. I think they're all Super Bowl contenders. Every single one of those teams.
Kansas City won the division last year at 12-5. The Raiders finished second and made the playoffs at 10-7. The Chargers and the Broncos finished third and fourth, but I mean, everything has changed. Both rosters are totally different. Even the Raiders have made some moves as well. I know, didn't we say this last year about?
We said the NFC West last year.
NFC West, right? That all 4 teams were gonna make it to the playoffs, and it almost played out that way.
3 or 4 made the playoffs.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and the Cardinals were right there.
Hurt. No, the Cardinals made the playoffs.
They made that's right.
Seattle didn't. Russ got hurt.
Russ got hurt. Right. I think we got the same thing this year. It would not shock me if all 4 teams
were contending competing for it.
All the wild cards came out of this division. It wouldn't shock me.
Not in the least bit. I don't see, and keep in mind, half the teams, the Raiders and Broncos, are featuring new head coaches and new coaching staffs, although the Raiders have a coach who's coached before, but different coaches, different coaching staffs in those 2 teams. But I don't see those 2 coaching staffs being like weaknesses per se. I see them as being like coaching staffs that have an idea of what the hell they want to do and going forward with it. I don't see a discernible weakness on any of these teams. I mean, yes, some things they may not be great at, but they're good at them. like the Chiefs, they're not great at running, but they can be efficient and effective. The Chiefs aren't great at rushing the passer, but with their offense having a lead, they're better at rushing the passer. You look at a team like the Raiders, and whereas their passing game didn't scare you, now it does. Picking up Chandler Jones, you can rush better. I mean, I don't see where they're, and that rush will help out their secondary. You know what I mean? You look at Denver, they've had a good defense for several years. Offense has been the problem. Now you got a quarterback that can fit right in with what they're doing. And he's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's been a consistent Pro Bowler. And he's got players to throw to, and he's got a better block situation with better running backs and depth at running back. I just, and the Chiefs are the Chiefs. I really don't see where there's a weakness in this on any of these teams, really. Like every game between these 2 teams has got to be just like a slugfest.
I see one weakness. And this is why I feel this team is going to once again underachieve.
Chargers.
The Chargers. The coach.
You don't think he's going to learn from last year?
We'll see. Got to see it to know.
Okay.
Got to see it to know. But I think with the talent of this division, I think he's going to get caught up and feeling like he has to do that stuff again. Like we gotta score, like like because the division didn't do nothing but get even better.
Right. They got better on defense though.
They did.
They can stop the run. They can rush the passes better.
We'll see. We'll see. This division is going to be fun to watch. Herbert is my fantasy quarterback, so I'm hoping and praying he just keep getting better. You said close to 5,000 this year. I'm hoping he shatters it, gets over 5,000. Like, but crazy, him and Carr are my fantasy quarterbacks. Carr's my backup. So,
nice.
But like that's the only thing that I'm concerned with is if has the coach learned his lesson from last year, because I really feel he single-handedly cost them the playoffs last year.
Yeah,
like single-handedly. Like so, we'll see if he changes. If he learned, and it sucks because a year later the division is even harder.
Right.
Granted, you got better, but other teams did also. So it's like you can't miss your opportunities when you got them, and he missed an opportunity last season.
Let me ask you this: did the Chiefs actually get better?
Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe they didn't.
Or they just got different. They got different because they're gonna have to attack. I mean, Karlaftis, the rookie out of Purdue, is the edge rusher that they sort of kind of hoping can be a difference maker. But they lost Honey Badger. You know what I'm saying? But they picked up Justin Reed. So you got a younger safety, but is he going to be as effective as Honey Badger? You've got different. You got MVS, Marquez Valdez Scantling, who's fast and tall and long and lanky, but he's not Tariq. So you got to build that confidence. But then you got Juju Schuster, who's really good in the slot, and you drafted Sky Moore, who's also good in the slot. You got Isaiah Pacheco to back up Edwards-Helaire at running back, who's also speedy. So I don't know if they got better. I think they just got different, and I don't know if that different is good for them and bad for everybody else, or vice versa. I don't know if they got better. I just don't know. But they're the Chiefs. Yeah. So you give them benefit of the doubt.
You get them benefit of the doubt. You get them the benefit of the doubt.
But here's the deal: the Chargers only lost. They lost 5 of their 8 games last year by less than 7 points.
Coaching.
I think that changes this year. I got the Chargers coming out the AFC West as division.
Wow, really?
I think all 3 of us gonna have different teams.
Wow, no, we won't. Because I believe him. I'm with him. I think the Chargers win the division.
Oh, you got Chargers?
Yeah.
Hey.
And here's the crazy thing. They win a division with the same record as the Chiefs.
Okay. Wow.
Here's the thing. They split with the Chiefs. It's just that they have a better conference record than the Chiefs will. Tiebreakers.
Man, now you got me really feeling.
Smoke, who you got?
Because I got the Raiders winning the division.
Really? Okay.
I got the Raiders winning the division. With the Chiefs coming in second in the division.
Okay.
I think the addition of Devontae.
That's big.
See, Glenn, I thought you were gonna take Denver. with Russ going over there, but
too much to they're gonna be interesting. They might sneak in there, but I just think year too early. I think.
All right, so Glenn and I take the Chargers. Smoke, you got the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders. Hey, let's move over to the NFC here, and let's start in the least, as I like to call it. I think they get too much coverage, man. I get so sick and tired of the media talking about the NFC East.
I'm with you.
But Dallas won that division last year, 12-5. The Eagles came in second at 9-8 and did making the playoff appearance. Of course, they got stomped by Tampa Bay in the wild card round. Washington finished third, and the Giants were pretty bad.
The Giants were a colossal F up.
They were bad. That's okay. Yeah, this division, I gotta actually pull for the Cowboys this year. I somehow got Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott on my fantasy team this year.
So wait, your guys' decisions are ruled by your fantasy success or failures?
Man,
Way to be objective.
I mean, well, you see who I picked, and I got Herbert as my starter.
Oh, but
Cards,
Carr's your backup. Yeah, so you're still biased.
I mean, I was gonna pick one of them.
I was really dreading. Well, the Dak pickup wasn't all that bad. I was like, yeah, I could roll with Dak. It was the Zeke Elliott. I was like, oh, do I really want to push this button right now? Do I really want to?
See, when he uses the goal line and falls in and gets you cheap 6 points, when he gets like 12 rushing touchdowns on like 15 carries for like 50 yards on the season, you're gonna be feeling a little bit different.
Hey, let's hope for that. But this yeah, it's a 2-team race here. Yeah, I don't trust Carson Wentz in Washington. And yeah, the Giants.
No need to discuss.
Yeah, don't even go there. A lot of people are high on the Philadelphia Eagles this year.
I am.
They think Jalen Hurts is going to get better. They pick up Hollywood Brown.
They pick up
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown. I'm sorry, I said Hollywood. AJ Brown.
Yes, another guy that left. That's one of the few guys that left the AFC and came to the NFC. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But actually, two of those guys, both Browns, left the AFC and came to the NFC. Rare. AJ and Hollywood. Eagles and Cardinals, respectively.
Oh yeah.
This is a tough division.
Is it?
I mean, the two to pick
between the two.
Well, historically, and by historically, I guess it's the last 10 plus years. There hasn't been a division repeat winner in that division. So
you're saying that Philly then?
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
Okay.
I'm going Philly, and I think Hurts is a guy who's improved every single year he's played football. Even going back to college, he improved each year. He improved some last year. I think he'll improve this year. Having guys like AJ Brown to throw to, one of the best offensive lines in football, and a defense that got appreciably better in the offseason to give you, again, better opportunities and better field position. And the fact that the coach was savvy enough to realize this passing thing ain't working. Let me commit to the run. They committed to the run, became the best running team in the NFL last year, which spurred them to get to the playoffs. So based on all that, from coaching staff down to the problem at quarterbacking position, I think there'll be better improvement. And I've seen so much decline with in terms of the roster with the Cowboys. The offensive line ain't what it was. Your wide receivers still banged up. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then that coaching staff, particularly the head coach, and make some bonehead decisions. I think the Eagles, to me, win that division by 2 games.
Man, you said a lot of great stuff. But I'm gonna have to see it to believe it. I'm gonna pick the Cowboys. I'm rooting for Jalen Hurts. I really want that to happen, but I gotta go with the Cowboys. As long as Dak is healthy, I believe they will win that division. Hoping I'm wrong, but I just don't. I gotta see it to believe it with the Eagles. Definitely improvement, but yeah, I just need to see it. I know the Cowboys definitely have a lot of issues.
Well, yeah, I was going to say Dallas had to go out and pick up Jason Peters.
Oh, that worked for us last year.
Yeah, right. That's not a great thing. Now he's on the practice squad, so it's, in case of emergency, break glass. I'm going to go with the Eagles here. Mm-hmm. I'm going with Philly to win it.
Eagles.
Let's go to the South. Let's save the North for last here. NFC South. Tampa Bay won that division last year, running away at 13-4. And then the last three teams did not make the playoffs, though New Orleans did finish over 500 at 9-8. Atlanta and Carolina. Carolina's got a new quarterback. Actually, Atlanta and Carolina have new quarterbacks. I think Atlanta's going to finish in last. But I don't know about the top team though.
Really?
Yeah.
So you think 45-year-old guy that has problems now outside of football?
That's what I'm thinking.
And a line that's messed up from the interior because of the guards and the center's gone for the season.
Yep.
And the guards are gone because they're on different teams.
Yep.
And the wide receiver is still banged up, the one that he trusts the most.
Yep. And his go-to tight end said, "I'm done."
Again.
But now.
Yeah, for now. But if they start 4-5, I don't think he's coming back.
And the primary running back came in about 30 pounds overweight, but you feel like they got everything under control there.
I don't trust that.
Oh, and a new head coach.
And
last time.
Well, I don't. The head coach is actually. I actually feel better about that than anything. Just because it's not. I mean, he was on the stage. He was on the staff.
Right.
He was close to Arians, so there shouldn't be much of a change in culture there.
Yeah, I don't think it's changing culture, but you got to make the decisions now. And then you got to make the decisions with that 45-year-old GOAT on your team. So how much compromising are you doing? I don't think the guy who was ahead of him would compromise as much. I think this guy might be in a more compromising mentality.
That might be why he's gone.
It might be why he's gone, but he's gone with a Super Bowl ring. Whereas Bowles is going to have to prove himself. And again, the onus is on him because at least, when AB was, what's the coach's name who left? Arians. When Arians BA, I had it wrong. He had dyslexic coach. When BA was coaching with the Cardinals, he went to the playoffs. He had some winning seasons. Bowles didn't have any winning seasons with the Jets. So I think he has a bit more to prove. And it's hard to prove that when you got that 45-year-old GOAT hanging, just hovering over everything. I mean, the fact you got to keep fielding questions why this guy isn't at camp, for 11 days. And he gets there, you're like, well, hey, that's your answer.
It was an excused absence.
I understand that, but when it comes to making decisions for 17 games and you got that dude on the sidelines, let's hope you don't have such contentiousness that builds up or indecision. I see a lot of house of cards in a sense kind of folding in on that team.
Hey, but I mean, the Saints had a lot of changes too now.
True.
I mean, let's be fair here. Granted, everyone giving Allen a lot of credit because how the Saints have played defense versus Tampa.
Right.
But let's forget the credit that was awarded to Sean Payton for the success of Jameis Winston before he got injured. Sean Payton's gone.
Right. True. Good point.
So we might see my boy. That's my boy. Everybody know I am a famous Jameis guy. I just got a text of I can't wait for us to finish recording to watch this interview he just had because I'm sure it's must-see TV. But he might turn back into a turnover machine. We never know, So I'm picking Tampa. Like I'm not picking against Tom Brady in favor of Jameis Winston. That's just I just can't do it.
Wow.
Just can't do it. Both have new coaches in place.
But they're not really new because they've been on the staff. So
both been on the staff.
Right. Situation.
And with one being Jameis, both coaches being the defensive coaches that have took over. With one being Jameis, that head coach, that offensive mind was a very big help to him. Versus with Brady, he's the GOAT. Right. You're going to expect him to be able to manage what needs to be done without the head coach being such an integral part of what's taking place in the offense. I mean, and Byron Leftwich is still there.
Great point. It's not so much that I see Bowles messing with the offense. He's got to make decisions now for the team. That's where the contention, do we go for it on third down? And Brady's like, let's go. Or if we go for it on fourth down, it's 4th and 5, Brady's let's go. Bowles is like, nah, we're going to punt the ball because my defense is really good. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Time management. Things that BA would do differently that Bowles is going to do. How much of that is going to affect the GOAT walking around the sidelines if he didn't like the decision that was made? How much is that going to affect the locker room, the environment? Because Tom Brady is an omnipresent presence. Yeah, that's like a double presence. But he's omnipresent through that whole facility. Tom Brady walks in, people sit up straight. I mean, I've actually literally gotten that from people who've been there. Tom Brady he's a straw that stirs the hell. He's the glass of water. He's the glass that everything is poured into. He's it all. So when you have a different head coach, we'll see what happens, man. I mean, I think those are some things that we concern ourselves with. He's 45. Clearly, there's some things outside of football that have been, something he has to contend with that he may not have had to contend with at this type of level before. And I tell you, the quickest way, the thing that always got Tom Brady beat was that pressure right up the middle. How the Giants won both times and they played him in the Super Bowl. And with your interior being gone, your center, your most trusted guy on the offensive line is gone for the year. And the 2 guards are gone on different teams. Or actually, one guy's retired, the other one's on a different team. That is going to be a problem. That is going to be a problem. So I don't see the Bucs winning enough to win a division. And we've seen that the Saints have been able to beat them. The only time they didn't lose to them, they 4-1 against them. They just lost them 1 playoff game. So I'm taking the Saints, man. I think the Saints with better offensive talent, with Olave, Michael Thomas coming back. I think the offensive line is healthy now. And the defense is, they've replaced the safeties with younger guys. And Tyrann Mathieu back home now, the Honey Badger. Marcus May is there. I just see that defense being as problematic for Brady as before. And I see the Saints winning that division and going 12-5.
Well, we're going to all go with different teams here.
What? You going with Carolina?
I'm going with the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, hell no.
The Fighting Mayfields? The Fighting Mayfields?
I think Baker Mayfield has something to prove. Christian McCaffrey is back.
Wait, the Salvation Army
for week
McCaffreys?
1.
Yeah, for week 1. Exactly.
For week 1.
And Father Time is undefeated. There has to be at some point he's gonna come quick. And
he
Tom
ain't
is
gonna
gonna
come
look
quick
bad.
enough for the Panthers to take over the division. I can tell you that.
Well, we shall see. But I'm going with Carolina, man.
They
Going
have
with the Panthers.
Nice little squad. Quiet as it's kept. They got a nice little squad.
Yeah.
Receivers are tight. Running back is healthy. Offensive line has gotten better with the freshman. I mean, the rookie they got out of North Carolina State. The defense has been solid. Good pass rush. Secondary, if healthy, those guys have to come back. Especially the corners have to come back healthy. Yeah, I think quietly they are flying the ointment kind of team, but I just don't see them winning the division.
Boy, Baker Mayfield pulled that off.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God.
We'll see. NFC West. Of course, the Rams won that division last year, though it was a dogfight.
Yeah.
Up until the end, with 3 teams. The 4th team is going to remain in last place. That's Seattle. So I don't think we need to really discuss them all that much. But the Rams, Arizona, and the 49ers. The 49ers are, man, that's an interesting
This whole
team.
This whole division is a little interesting this year.
How long do you think Trey Lance
September
is able to stick around here?
September into
That's
the first week of October. Yeah, he can replace halfway through the game.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
Yeah. Arizona, Kyler Murray got his big deal.
You know how that's
Does he? Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Whoa! What do you mean? What do we know about the ending of that? How's it going to end?
They're going to start off strong and then start
and
wheezing
then-
in the back.
right.
Well, they've gotten better each year with their wins. They actually made the playoffs last year.
Yeah, but they start off so well, and then they start wheezing in the back.
Maybe they do the reverse this year and start off a little sketchy and get strong at the end.
Well, we'll help
I think
them.
it's a correlation of the size of Kyler Murray. He gets worn down.
Really?
They get
I think
Hopkins
that's
back week 8.
I think that's the case.
You being biased against short people, man. That's just
I'm
short.
not being
short
no, not about him being short. About him being small. I think he gets worn down. Because of his style of play.
Mm-hmm. You saw him calling plays this summer, right? You saw him on the sidelines calling plays.
Oh, okay. But then the Rams, you got the elbow issue with Stafford. That's why I say this is a weird division right now. Every team has questions except for the Seattle Seahawks.
Right, nobody's asking.
Who's the Rams backup?
I don't even know.
I don't know. Is it Brandon Allen? I don't know who the backup is. It's not Mannion. He's gone.
Bryce Perkins and John Wolford.
Yeah, they're in trouble.
Wow.
Wolford actually didn't play too bad, I think, when he came in. I think it was when Goff was still there.
Yeah,
he actually didn't look too bad. I'm going to go Super Bowl hangover, man. Even the coach was kind of like, living it up a little bit after they won the Super Bowl. It's like he had to refocus himself a little bit. It's tough to repeat, especially when you got guys that you fulfilled long-term goals. It'd be different if they were in their prime. I don't know, man. And it's Hollywood, it's LA, there's a lot of distractions. I see them as being a distracted team with a significant injury to a significant player. So I got the Cardinals. I think they're the team with the least amount of questions. They have questions, but the secondary's tight. I think especially if Zaven Collins in the second year really helps out the linebacking core with him and Isaiah Simmons. That's a nice tight linebacking group. They're very fast on defense. Buda Baker is one of the best safeties in the game. They lost Chandler Jones, so their pass rush is a bit of an issue. And J.J. Watts, he's past his prime, obviously, but the pass rush is probably a bit of the concern for me. I think the offensive line it's gotten better. I think their running back situation is with James Conner, even if he just plays just well, he doesn't even have to have as great a season as he did last year, but he fits well with what they do. And I think Kyler this year is going to approach the game with that chip on his shoulder, that Napoleonic complex that's got him to where he is so far professionally. I think he'll carry that on more. So I think he wants to prove everybody, like, you know what, y'all talking all this yin yang about me that I don't know stuff. I'm gonna show y'all. I think he's that kind of guy that can play with a chip on his shoulder. And the 49ers, I don't think they believe in Trey Lance yet. And the 49ers is also one of those teams that generally they start to have some injuries, man. They're a team that's had several injuries. 2 out of the last 4 years, those injuries really messed them up. And they're a solid team. Something weird is going to happen. It's just something with the quarterback situation. It's crazy. If Garoppolo were the starting quarterback, I'd pick the 49ers.
Interesting.
I'm picking the Cardinals to win the division.
Wow.
I think the Super Bowl hangover is truly a factor with the Rams, as on top of, like I say, Stafford's concern with his elbow. I think the Rams will recover, but I think they'll be coming in as a wild card. I think they're going to start off slow. And I think they're going to fall behind Arizona to where Arizona have a good enough lead to take the division. I do think the Rams get in the playoffs. I just don't think they win the division this year. I think the Cardinals continue their trend of starting off fast and strong and just start wheezing in the back. We'll see. And then, but yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Like, they are the team with the least amount of questions right now. And so 49ers, I'm like, GM said it all. Like, if Jimmy was starting, I probably would consider them to win the division. It's clear there's still questions there with Trey Lance, and it's clear that early on he probably has the two easy, what are supposed to be the two easiest games scheduled for a quarterback. I mean, he got the Bears and the Jets back to back, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And those are must-win games for him.
Right. Those are must-win
Like, those
games.
are must-wins.
It's Bears and Seahawks.
But even
Same
better.
Right.
Even better. Those are two, like, he in the first two games of the season, he's already in must-win mode. Like, the pressure is going to be crazy on that kid already early on. And it's some concerns that have been brought out. So we'll see. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cardinals, with the Rams catching steam towards the end.
I don't think they're gonna need to catch steam. I think they're gonna blow right through this division. Got the LA Rams continuing the roll. They will win the NFC West. Hey, let's go to the North.
Winter is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Winter. The Green Bay Packers, of course, won that division. Shocking. Minnesota finished second at 8-9, and then the Bears and the Detroit Lions brought up the rear.
Nothing's changed. Absolutely nothing's changed.
You think it's gonna be the same?
Yeah, I do. I think Minnesota really will challenge, but I think it's gonna be the same.
Green Bay doesn't have any receivers, though.
They don't have the receiver, but they have guys who can catch the ball.
They have a quarterback.
And they have a Hall of Fame quarterback who can throw it to them. And you also have running backs who can catch the ball and a tight end who can catch the ball. But that defense, I'm not worried about their offense. That defense is the reason why I'm picking them. That defense should be a top 3 defense by the year's end. That defense is actually quite scary.
What about Minnesota?
I think they're solid. A new coach again, though, so you got to factor that in, which may actually be a benefit to them. Kevin O'Connell coming over from the Rams might actually improve Cousins' efficiency even more so. Keep in mind, Cousins, as much as we ride him for not winning big games, dude's like 4,030 touchdowns like every year. Great weapons with Jefferson and Dalvin Cook. Thielen is a nice complimentary receiver, and the slot guy, I can't remember his name right now. He's pretty solid too. And even the backup running back. Remember, I talked about attrition. Even when Dalvin Cook goes down, Alexander Madison comes in, and they don't lose too much of a beat. He's still a really good running back. So offensive line's gotten better. They've got one of the quietly better built offensive lines over the last 2 years. Defense should be a little bit better. They get Darius Smith to come over from Green Bay, so he's got a bone to pick. He's going to help their pass rush. One thing in Minnesota, they don't force a lot of turnovers, and I think to be an elite team, you need to be able to force those turnovers when you need to kind of win those games when you can't quite get the leverage offensively. You need something to help you out. That's the only thing I really see wrong with that team. But they're a solid team. I think they're a playoff caliber team. I think they're a game behind Green Bay when the division is, won or lost. I think the Packers win it by 1.
GM said the key reason why Minnesota won't win the division. He said, I believe there'll be a game off from the Packers because we know who's going to beat them at least once.
The Bears.
The Bears is going to beat Minnesota at least once. We're going to give them one time. So, yeah, I'm sticking with the Packers winning the division. I was leaning towards changing until you mentioned the lack of receivers that Green Bay has. And then I realized, okay, I mean, but they still have by far the best quarterback in the division.
Yeah.
So, I like Justin Jefferson and Thielen and Dalvin Cook, but I'm willing to put money on Green Bay to still sustain with the way they ran the ball over the past couple seasons, adding Dylan to Adams. I think they're gonna be okay. Not a Super Bowl team, but definitely win the division.
Well, don't forget about that defense, man. That
Yeah.
defense. And the rookies from Georgia, national championship rookies that they brought over. I'm just saying, watch out for that defense this year. I'm sorry, yes. What was you about to say?
I was going to say I'm going to shock a lot of people here.
You about to say the Bears?
I think the Bears
Come on, man. The Bears and the Panthers, huh?
are going to win 7 games.
Oh, okay.
No, that's not a shocker.
No, I think Green Bay's going to win this division hands down. I never trust the Minnesota Vikings. Detroit's Detroit, and the Bears are just getting better. So yeah, hates me to say this, but yeah, Green Bay, no doubt about it, coming out of the NFC North, the old Central. So we picked our division winners here. So let's do this. Let's pick our wild cards, who we think our wild cards are going to be out of each conference, and then we'll pick our Super Bowl winners.
Okay. Who wants to go first?
I'll lead off.
So
we in the AFC.
Right.
So I picked Buffalo, I picked Baltimore, I picked Tennessee, I picked Vegas. So of course, I already stated Kansas City will be one of my wild cards.
Okay.
I'm going to go Chargers as one of my wild cards. And I'm going to go Dolphins as one of my wild cards.
Wow. All right.
What was your first wild card?
Chiefs.
Kansas City.
Chiefs. Gotcha.
Glenn, who you got?
Okay. I'm gonna go Chiefs as my wild card. Raiders as another wild card.
We got the same playoff teams though.
Right. And I'm going to go
Do it.
it's tough.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Dolphins.
Oh, I thought he was gonna go Denver. I was gonna say do it, the whole division, but nah.
No, I think an injury is gonna stop
Yeah.
it. I think an injury is gonna stop that, and that they don't. Their pass rush is still a little iffy in Denver. It's been decent.
Like I say, I think that this a year too soon.
Right. They got Randy Gregory to help them
another
out.
year.
Right. So yeah, you picked the Titans to win the South, right?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. And I'm going to go Kansas City as well. I'm going to go with the Chargers. Oh, no, I picked the Chargers to win it.
Big Chargers to win.
So I'm going to take
Ravens.
the Raiders.
Oh, Raiders. Okay.
And the Ravens
Raiders.
out of the North.
Okay. So Cincy's pretty much the only team that's really different.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Dolphins. We got the exact same playoff teams, huh? Jim?
Yeah, I think we do. Yeah, just different division winners, but the same. Well, actually, no, I don't have the Titans.
Okay, right.
I got the Colts. Right.
Okay. And then NFC wildcards.
NFC. I got Dallas, I got Green Bay, I got Tampa, and I got Arizona. So I got the Rams as one.
Okay.
Going to go Minnesota. and I'm gonna go New Orleans.
Saints. All right. Glenn, who you got?
Vikings, Bucks. This last one's a little tough. Vikings, Bucks. So I go Rams or Cowboys.
I have to catch you.
Man, that's tough. Rams got tough. Do I go Detroit Lions? Ooh. You know what? I'm a because they got the last place schedule. I'm gonna go Lions.
Wow. You got two coming out the north. All right.
Yeah, 3 coming out the north. Well, yeah, 2.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm two
three.
wild cards coming out the
Yeah,
north.
2 wild cards. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go Dallas.
Hard Knocks swayed me.
I've only seen one episode of Hard Knocks.
Who won it this season? The Dolphins.
The
Lions.
Lions.
Oh, the Lions again.
Lions are, yeah. I said Dallas. I'm gonna go 49ers. And Arizona.
You got 3
Which
coming
by the
out
way means that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will not be going to the playoffs.
Wow.
Whoa.
Brady just came back for nothing, huh?
Or the Saints. You legit got the Panthers running away with that division. Yeah, it's shocking that you don't have the Bucks, but you also don't even have the Saints, which means the division probably ain't even gonna be close in your eyes.
Well, it could be one of those where they all finish, within a game of each other, and it could be a 10-win division winner. Yeah.
Okay.
Who you guys got coming out the AFC?
Buffalo. I'm stretching it here. I'm really going out on a limb with Buffalo.
I'm going with the Raiders.
The Raiders.
No.
Uh-oh.
No.
Slow up.
Going with the Chargers.
Wow.
Really? Okay. The guy you don't trust the head coach, but he's going to take him all the way to the Super Bowl, huh?
Hot streaks.
They win in spite of him.
Yeah.
Man.
Ravens. Cincy back.
No,
Chiefs, the Chefs.
this is tough. I don't think Cincinnati goes back. I'm sticking with Kansas City.
Chefs.
NFC champs.
Did you pick?
Yeah, I said
Yeah,
Buffalo.
he said Buffalo.
Oh, you did say Buffalo. You did.
NFC.
NFC.
I'm gonna go with the Packers.
Cool.
So the Vikings are my dark horse.
When you stump like this, it's only one decision you can make.
Best
Gotta go
quarterback.
with the GOAT. I'm gonna go with Tampa. I'm stumped with who coming out the NFC. I'm stumped for real.
Oh no.
If I'm not mistaken, I picked the Packers to win the Super Bowl last year, or to win the Super Bowl last year. Didn't I?
And they didn't make it, so you're gonna pick them
It
again.
didn't happen, right?
Pick
So
'em
you were a year
again.
ahead of yourself.
Pick
I'm
'em
doing it
again.
again.
Pick
I'm
'em
doing it again.
again.
Green Bay will be going to the Super Bowl. I'm taking the Packers. And because I have terrible luck, they won't get there.
So that's your way to jinx them because you really,
Yeah.
truly hate the Packers.
And Super Bowl champs.
Buffalo Bills. Because I don't want the Packers to win. I want Aaron Rodgers frustrated the remaining years of his playing days.
You got a Chargers Bucks Super Bowl.
Brady gets 8
Wow.
and walks away for real this time.
And I'm going with a repeat of Super Bowl 1. I'm going to take the Packers.
Wow. You're really trying to jinx them. Way to
win
go.
All right. I like those picks. Should be a good NFL season.
Great.
Before we get out of here, let's real quick talk about what we saw during the college week 1 of the college season. And I think the game that shocked me, and I'm a HBCU guy, I got the chance to see the Jackson State Florida A&M game during a fantasy draft. So I was just entrenched in all football. I've never seen Florida A&M lose a game like that. They lose sometimes. They have a great program. They lose sometimes.
Never saw
Not
them lose
59-3.
You never saw them lose like that to an opponent that is supposed to be on level ground. Is that
right? Yeah, you did. You're right. I should say because they did lose to. I remember they played Miami and got beat like that. But yeah,
were those players back?
They I think only 8 weren't back.
Okay.
Of the 20 that were gone in the first game for the first game.
Mm-hmm.
So 12 are back.
12 came back, including their top 2 players.
Okay.
Back. Yeah.
Because I tried to throw that out there to one of my boys, and he's like, no, most of them were back. Okay,
yeah.
Makes it even more impressive.
I mean, it was a butt kicking, man. On in every facet of the game. Jackson State's quarterback play was great. Their offensive line play was great. They had really good receivers. They didn't really run the football they didn't have to though. Defensively, their pass rush was relentless. Great tacklers. And I didn't even mention the number 1 recruit, Travis Hunter.
How did he play?
We didn't hear his name. So as a cornerback, if we don't hear your name, you probably are having a really good day.
Right.
And he was pretty much matched up on their best receiver all day. And
they didn't go that way.
Nothing went his way.
He was primed to be primed.
Yeah.
You don't come this way.
That man, this Jackson State team is for real.
It all I can think about is the fact that, because we all said this last week, even shorthanded, Fam played North Carolina.
Well, yeah.
For a half. Now, granted, did y'all see what North Carolina did this
Appalachian
weekend?
Yeah, 40 points in one quarter.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
But like, it made me think like, damn, why couldn't Jackson have played North Carolina? And we really would like to see what they, I'm sure they gotta have a PWI on the schedule.
No, I don't know, because remember, Deion's been saying, he doesn't think his guys are ready. Not that his skill guys aren't, but he doesn't think that they're ready up front with both offensive and defensive lines.
He making that much money for Jackson State that they ain't making no,
Well,
they
here,
ain't taking no money games.
let's look at their schedule.
That's interesting.
Hold on, let me pull up their schedule here. And
All them changes they making, renovations. Oh shoot, they about to drill on my boys. They got to buy this weekend, and then they play. Oh no, wait. Oh no, they play Tennessee State. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they don't have.
they don't have one. Yeah,
No,
Alabama State. They play Campbell, but
Campbell.
they're
Yeah.
Big South. That's one AA. They don't. Yeah, they don't have one.
That's interesting.
So yeah, we won't see that. But he's said that before. You know, he doesn't want to. He doesn't like doing the money game thing because it's setting up your guys for failure, which
Right.
is
Like-
true. But
I
teams
like
need
it.
the money though.
I like it. I mean, he's clearly they're getting something at Jackson. They got all type of renovations, new locker room, so they're getting the money from somewhere. So no need to go out and be someone's brag doll to get that money when you're getting it from somewhere. So
And then Glenn, you brought up the fact that that the Vikings former coach
Zimmer.
Mike Zimmer
Mm-hmm.
is now an analyst
Right.
for Jackson State. And I saw it was an article written about that. Well, actually, the title of the article was has Jackson State made history with what they're doing now. Well, let me find that. And it talked about the fact that they have analysts, and Dion said that or Coach Prime said that this is something that predominant schools have been doing for years. Right. And why shouldn't they do that? And it clearly worked because they had fan like I said, we played against North Carolina. So they had video on them and they had them down to a T, man. There was no surprises. So clearly that's working for Jackson State. But yeah, it was just a great performance, and shout out to them. Hopefully well, no, I'm not gonna say hopefully because we got a Grambling State guy here.
Right, exactly.
They gonna pound on us, man.
I don't want to say that, but yeah, they look legit, man. They look legit. So look out for those guys. Yes, I saw Grambling had a rough weekend against Arkansas State. I'm not gonna say the score.
It was the same score.
It was 58-3.
Oh, geez.
But that's all right though. That's all right. They got paid. They got paid. My Hampton Pirates look good, by the way. Beating Howard on Saturday. Shout out to the Pirates. Hey guys, let's do our picks before we get out of here.
All
right. I won last year.
You did.
I did.
So what do we owe you? Should we owe you lunch? Is that what we owe you?
I don't remember what the bet was.
The first year was the
I had to buy Portillo's.
But that was Bulls. That was a Bull. Like the Bulls wouldn't win X amount of games.
Did I give you that Portillo's?
You did.
Okay,
cool. It tasted very well.
All right.
Came in handy when I was short some money.
I pay my debts, ladies and gentlemen.
You're a Lannister at heart, Game of Thrones reference.
That's right. You know what happened? By the way, I had to pay double for that because I bought a gift card and I lost the gift card that I bought.
Oh, that's right.
So I had to go back and get another gift card. All right. So I'll just start it off here. I'm gonna do all NFL.
Okay.
And I am going to take Tennessee minus 5.5 against the Giants. I'm going to take Indianapolis minus 7.5. Oh no, minus 7 according to Caesars. I'm gonna take the 7. Against Houston.
Really? You think they'll be Houston by more than a touchdown? Huh?
I know so.
Lovey Smith,
Lovey's
Texans.
Lovey's Tampa 2 is not going to be working all that well. The Bears are 7-point dogs.
Yep. At home.
I'm going to take the Bears to cover.
That's one of mine.
At plus 7. Smoke, who you got?
So I got that one. I got Bears plus 7. I'm gonna go Bucks minus 2.5.
The Bucks are playing who again?
Dallas.
And
And I'm gonna go Rams plus 2.5 tomorrow. I know I said they start off slow, but I think they
Rams.
get the win.
What's Rams? Rams.
Plus
and-
2. Bills.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I got Rams, Bears, Bucks.
Gotcha.
Rams, Bears. But you said Rams are plus 12?
Plus 2.
No, plus
and a
2.5.
half.
Oh, okay. Plus 2. Yeah. And then you're taking Bears plus 7. All right.
GM, who you got?
Clearly, you guys need me to rescue this trio of ours with perfect picks. So I will take college first game. I'm going to take Pitt plus 6 against my Volunteers.
Pitt.
Yeah, I expect Tennessee to win, but I think the Panthers will cover. I'm going to go Bills. I think they're on a mission. So I think a field goal or more will beat the Rams. So I'll take that minus 2.5 on the road against the hungover, elbow tendonitis Rams. And I got to take the beloved, man. You a dog, home dog getting 7.
Bears.
Against the 49ers and the indecisive quarterback. Bears.
Y'all picked the Bears, huh?
Bears.
Hey, dude,
That's one win for everybody this week.
that's hard to ignore plus 7 at home, man. You don't get that too often.
I love it.
Game
Hey.
1 with 2 second-year quarterbacks. Well, one having not much burn last year. It's interesting.
That was fun doing all football. Hey, that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Easy Smoke and the GM podcast. I want to thank you for listening. We greatly appreciate it. You can catch our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, or wherever you find your favorite podcast. You can also catch us at hp53productions.com. There you'll find a link to our podcast, as well as the Father Good podcast, hosted by Marshall Givens and Kenny Stevenson, and the Super Duper podcast, which I'm about to record in a few minutes, hosted by Rob Griggs. So definitely check that out. Yo, Glenn.
Yep.
Please take us out.
Hey, it's like we always say. We ain't saying we're right. We just don't think we're wrong.
Happy football season. Let's go.
Happy football.